Well, hello and bonjour. I'm just gonna pop this link. Actually, do you know what? I was gonna share a little link for this on Facebook, but it can get a bit hectic on here. I can get too many questions, and there is a dog kicking about. So if you hear growling, it's not me. It's him in the background. There's not a lot I can do about him, I'm afraid. I thought, got any questions? Fire them in below. It's a good opportunity for not to have the most polished content. My videographer's away. He should be back today. Should be getting back to making some good content. But until he's back, it's just me going live. How are you, James? I'm fantastic. Waking up. Not gonna lie, having my second can. But yeah, Alex, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your BJJ skills. Well, the thing about jiu-jitsu is you remain quite humble. Let's say a strong 6. Strong 6. I'll fire it in below. Yeah, fire it in. What's your favorite thing you've ever done? I don't know. I don't think I really think about it like that. What time is it there? It's nearly 8 in the morning. Niall, have you Irish blood? You want to get deep? You want to get deep this early? Yet I'm actually adopted from Ireland. There you go. So I'm born in 1989, and you couldn't have abortions in Ireland in 89. So my Irish pregnant mum went to the UK and gave me up. So there you go. Yeah, I'm Irish, technically. I was born with an Irish name, Cian. I get a bit weird saying that these days because someone could be like, on the live, they could be like, you're my son. And then I'll be like, are they? Okay, favorite cereal. Oh, there's this one in Oz called Milo. So yeah. Hi, James. Do you have trouble sleeping? I do if I don't listen to a podcast. If I lay there in just the dark with nothing on, my brain goes like bing, 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 bing. Can you talk about creatine, potential kidney damage if not properly dissolved? I've never really seen anything that says creatine would give you kidney damage. It's one of the most studied supplements ever. I just don't get it. Philip, favorite movie? Gotta be Talladega Nights. Talladega Nights. Shake and bake. Ricky Booby, I have come to defeat you. I just had my first ever wild citrus. Amazing taste. Good man. Can't wait to have some more. Me neither. Thoughts on planking? Pretty terrible exercise. Not in the sense of like planking is bad for you. I hate it. If I was paying someone, a good amount of money to train me, and I saw planking in my program, I'd be like, this person doesn't like me. Unless you've got no equipment. I just don't really like core training that much. I think it's overhyped. What do you think of Zoe and measuring blood glucose? I think it's a very expensive means to do tests on people that don't really need. Do you follow NRL? Not really. When is New Tonic coming to Australia? It could be as late as June, I'm afraid. It's not just as simple as sending cans to Australia, but trust me, I'm pushing as hard as I can to get that to come quicker. All right. Want to go into the bathroom and do a couple lines? Not right now. It's 8 in the morning, you madman. Favorite sportswear brand? Probably Lululemon, if I'm honest. Like Lululemon, although like a yoga brand for women, they do very comfortable underwear, for instance. So like the Lululemon underwear are really expensive, but first time I wore them, in maybe 5-6 years, I've never worn any underwear apart from Lululemon. And I don't need to be paid by them to tell you that. I don't do any brand deals or get sponsored. It's just good. Who's better at BJJ, you or Paul? Well, the thing is, it's not about who's better, right? And imagine this. Imagine if the last time I rolled with Paul Lima, I beat him. I've been training longer than him, and also, what does that make me if I'm just going to come on here and show off? What's the point? Yeah, I could say I'm better at jiu-jitsu than Paul Lima, then suddenly he'd get his cock out. And then what? What's that? 1-1? There you are, James. Cool. You beat him in jiu-jitsu, but he's got a bigger cock than you. I just don't... The sport is for us both to enjoy, not to create a hierarchy of who's better. If you want to get better than people, you go to competitions. Okay, let's have a look. Is there anything in New Tonic that would affect someone's GI tract? Well, theanine actually has net positive effects to digestion. I mean, you might be sensitive to some of the ingredients, but with what's in there, you should only be experiencing a positive. But again, if you were, say, like allergic to something that's in there, or you were sensitive to it, but yeah, I don't know. Would you consider sponsoring a smaller judo club for a friend of mine? Probably not, if I'm honest. Like, think of it this way. If at the end of the year I had profit tied up in a business that I wanted to utilize for sponsorship, I would do local clubs, and I'd do clubs that I know or I'm part of. So for instance, my local jiu-jitsu club would be first on that list. You know, if I've got no emotional connection to that club, it makes it very difficult for me to fork out money to something, not to mention the trust. Oh, here's 10 grand. What did you do? Oh yeah, we kitted out the club. So yeah, if I was to donate money of any kind to any sporting team, it would probably be one that would be close to me. Or saying that, I did sponsor a football team in Turkey, but then one of my best mates is Turkish. So Daniel, what is success to you? Oh, deep question. Just enjoying what you do, really. Like, imagine this, right? If I enjoy getting up and going to work every day, I might have less money than some bankers and people that work in insurance. I might have less money than some movie stars. I might have less notoriety or objective success, whatever. But if you can wake up and enjoy your life and get out of bed on a Monday and not hate the fact it's Monday, you have a better life than most people. Oh, give us your best joke. Okay. Why do scuba divers always dive backwards off of a boat into the water? Because if they dived in forwards, they'd still be in the fucking boat. Thoughts on the HS fight? Oh, do you know what, right? HS Tiki Toki. I've been watching him for a while, only because like it's like a bit of a freak show at first with just some of the stuff that he says in that. Then the Zerka stuff, I was like, who is this Zerka? I saw him on like Bradley Martin's podcast and all that. Then when they had the little scrap, I was like, go on, HS. I was like, go on. Like when I first started following him, I thought he was a bit of a bellend, right? A bit like Andrew Tate, right? First time you see him, you're like bellend. And then sometimes they just pull something out where you go, am I wrong about this person? Right? Am I wrong about this person? The duck under, takedown, Zerka's head on the pavement. It's mad. Would you ever think of bringing your own supplements out? Sean Cooper, I have. If you look in here, Cognizin supplement, Rhodiola rosea supplement, Panex ginseng supplement, and theanine as a supplement. But the thing is, I'll be honest with you, I could have brought out powders, made way more money. Could have brought out sachets, made way more money. Could have brought out pills, made way more money. Not to mention like the regulations and the things you have to jump through to sell supplements on their own. Easy. But I hate pills. I hate taking pills. Like I'll start a supplement in something like Tonka Ali. Like 3 days in, I'm like, oh. Like taking a pill, I'm like, oh. So then when it came to the idea of making something that I would actually on board with, because I love nootropics, but you know what I don't like? What? Taking pills. So I was like, can we put it in a drink? Can we make the drink taste nice? And I would much rather just have a formula that I drink every day, have one of these in the morning, and happy days. So yeah, I do have a supplement. I'll give you a link. I'll give you a link now for any of you, if at any point you're considering it. But yeah, all right. Cool, I missed a few there. Views on semen retention. Don't see the benefits, if I'm honest. Hope your drink does well. Thank you. Adderall versus modafinil. I've never taken Adderall. Someone here says, you're a bellend, James. Look at you, mate. You've said you're, not you are. What you want, mate, here is YOU-RE. That insinuates you are. Now, look, I'm not going to lecture you. You're trying to troll me, you know. Oh, what's that? A 3-time best-selling author, you know. But you know what? Your YouTube name is Most, which anyway. But you know what? If you'd said that 5 years ago, call me a bellend, I probably would have been triggered, mate. But at the end of the day, you're here on what, Saturday night in the UK, more than likely, and you're on my live, even though you think I'm a bellend, and you're trying to comment to trigger me. And at first, I would say, do you know what? What a wanker. But now I'm not angry. I feel sorry for you, because if that's how you find happiness in this day and age, it's a bit of a sad existence, mate. You know what I mean? So, look, enjoy trolling people with your fake account, mate. Keep calling people a bellend. Good for you. I hope you know, I see comments like that and I think, oh, poor guy. Poor guy. I hope his life gets better. You know, I hope his life gets better. Cheers from Bulgaria. Big up Bulgaria. Is the drink going to be released to Australia? Yes, soon. Evening from Cheltenham. Moo-moos, remember that? Vodka Rebs in Cheltenham, right? Mild stomping ground, that's what they call it. I used to go Hartbury College. Cool. What a place. What a place. All right. What's the latest in the day you drink new tonic? 1 p.m. maybe? Thoughts on Tonka and Fedosia? Well, Fedosia I've not taken. Tonka Ali gave me a bit of a stomachache. Didn't really rate it. And also, right, some people, when they take Tonka Ali, experience male pattern. This is only anecdotal. There's no evidence to back this up. They say they experience like male pattern balding. And I don't know about you. I ain't got much left to go. You know what I mean? Like, you see that? Thing is, I'm a high testosterone individual. You know, mate, stop growling at me. This is, you know, it's bound to happen, right? That thickening shampoo, don't think it's working. You know, got the little receders up here. You got little receders up here. It's not bad for 34. You know, like I'll take that for 34. But as soon as I see someone online talking about Tonka Ali and male pattern baldness, stop, mate, fuck off. I'm like, I can't be running the gauntlet. You know what I mean? Even now, when I wear a hat, I feel guilt. So I'm like, and then you think to yourself, are you wearing a hat because you're going bald, or are you going bald because you're wearing a hat? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I ain't got the hair to lose, mate. Where were we? How to balance BJJ and strength training if you're looking to get gains? Well, it's difficult, right? Because anytime you have two goals together, let's say you want to like run a marathon and build muscle, if you're allocating half your energy to running, that's half your energy not into weight training. So it could arguably take twice as long to complete. So yeah, ever tried melatonin to help with sleep? Only when traveling, right? I don't think it's good to ever get in the mindset of relying on things for getting to sleep. How was the launch? Very good, thanks. Hop on the finasteride. Whoa, okay, right. So I could be wrong, but finasteride and minoxidil that people use for the old, it can have implications: erectile dysfunction, low libido. So when it comes to, I don't want to mess with any of that. Same reason, like anything that's going to lower my testosterone is a no-no. So the thing is, if you go for a hair transplant, so this is my other option, right? Go Turkey, get a hair transplant, whatever. Then I'm going to be taking, because it's DHT, which is one of the reasons that you get male pattern balding. It's a type of testosterone, right? And to stop the balding or the receding impact, minoxidil, finasteride, I just don't want to mess with my testosterone or my libido or anything like that. And then you got some people out there that are like, you know, they're bang on it and they love it, but they're taking steroids or they're on TRT. So I don't know, but quite a lot of guys that are in the fitness industry that have had hair transplants are also taking a bit of testosterone, because they're like, okay, if I stop my hairline from receding, I need to take these things, but they lower my test, so I'm going to increase my test. So yeah, I think I'd rather just go bald gracefully. And at least then I never got to worry about a dodgy hairline, or like even half of these blokes who get their hairline done, they kind of draw it themselves with a marker. Then they get conscious that their hairline looks too fake. I think at the end of the day, just let it happen. Just go with it. Just ride it out. Okay. A lot of the finasteride stuff is placebo. Not all of it, but a lot. Well, yeah, but a placebo is the physiological differences that occur from something. So, you know, the placebo isn't just what happens in your head. When you have a double controlled blinded study or whatever it is, it's because there are physiological changes that occur due to what people expect. So if you take a pill for a headache and it's a placebo and it makes the headache go away, that isn't just psychological, that's a physiological difference that's occurred. So, yeah. Started BJJ, worried about cauliflower ears. Nah, you don't really need to, mate. And if it does, you could just rest them. The guys who have the really bad cauliflower ears, it's because they don't do anything about it. For any of you who don't know, you'll notice this one's a little bit fat, and this one is losing its shape a bit. But all right, good to see more of these live streams. We'll add a bit of time, and I was like, do you know what? I'm having a can of new tonic. I might as well show everyone there. And if you haven't had one yet, they are amazing. If you bought a 12-pack and you didn't like it and you send me a polite email, I'll buy the other 11 off you. James, tell us the Thailand story. So many lads on gear in Thailand. I'm pretty sure you can get it over the counter in Thailand. Ow! That. Stop. Piss off. All right. New drink, the citrus one. Tastes bomb. Thank you very much. All right. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. How long have you been doing BJJ? About 6 years. Any advice on BJJ knee health? I wear sleeves for no-gi if my knees are a bit sore. but just know your limits, right? And if your foot is coming too close to your face, just say to your partner, whoa, 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 give us a little break here, mate. Do you still do any face-to-face these days? And if yes, how much? Would you like to do more or less than you're currently? Well, imagine that. No, I don't do face-to-face anymore, but I loved face-to-face for years on end, right? I've trained people for like 3-4 years. I worked in a gym in the UK, in a place called Bracknell. So some of you might know Bracknell, some of you might not. And yeah, just normal PT sessions, £40 an hour, did like 25, 30 sessions a week, worked in a technology park, lived in my mum and dad's, drove an old Cat C Volkswagen Polo. Cat C is where like it'd been written off before. So I got a good deal on it. The insurance was a bit crazy, but it helped me financially. But then it got to the point where I'm not showing off. Let's say I could get £200 an hour to train someone, which would be great. I think I'd rather start £200, 1 hour PT, let's say, which is ridiculous. Instead, I'd rather come on here for an hour and go live for half an hour with you lot, where there's 360 of you. Okay. So even though I'm only chat and waffle, I actually get to answer your question. Do you mind? I get to answer 300 people's questions. I know that sometimes I'm bantering or whatever, but let's say I answer 10 questions that impact your lives forever. Rather than one rich person getting 1 hour, there's now 10 people that just had a bit of free time and jumped on live that are getting impacted. So for me, from a personal decision, I'd rather help hundreds of people with an hour than just one. Also, when you become expensive because you got a lot of followers or whatever, you only start training rich people who have access to everything anyway. And I would then like to think that for coming on here for a bit and showing my true personality, could sell 10 cases of Newtonic, 10 people to jump on my personal training platform in the new year, and 25 people that go from, oh, I thought he was right, but he's actually a bit of a sound fucker. Mate, I will fight you. You think I've never fought a dog before? I'll bite you off camera. I do it sometimes. When he barks at me, I bark back. I don't bite that hard, but sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. And the dog gives you a nip, I nip him back, and he gives me a weird look where he's like, what was that? Never break eye contact. Yeah, pussy hole. He looked away. Okay, sorry. James, what do you think of Eddie Abu? Oh my God, he was in my dream last night. Talk about not being able to get someone out of your fucking head. Look, his heart's in the right place. Heart's in the right place. But like, you know, you can become very disconnected with the world. Right, imagine this, right? Everyday people should not be getting advice from elite bodybuilders. Because an elite bodybuilder, this is my thing, and this isn't an attack on Eddie, but think about this. An elite bodybuilder will sacrifice 99% of their life for a 1% change in body weight, quite literally. You say to any person on the planet, would you give everything up you love for a 1% change in body weight? They say no. Ask a bodybuilder, yes. So like we got someone that is obsessed to make it to the level Eddie got to in bodybuilding, obsessed. Then the cheek to say that bagels are bad for you, you were carrying 30 kilograms of extra tissue on your body. You know, it's like, this is what it's like, okay? Ever see someone that gets a car and kits it out, right? Eddie Abu is someone that has bought a sports car, a 1989 Ford Escort Cosworth. They've put the fucking massive exhaust on it. They put 2 extra turbos on it. They put fucking inlet valve, all of this shit, right? They ragged the shit out of it for 5 years. And they come over and go, your tires are a bit bald, mate. You're like, don't tell me my tires are bald. You have just done everything you can to pimp out a car. You've taken years off of the longevity of that car. Don't point at my tires and say they're bald, mate. You get back in your box. So for Eddie to do so many steroids for so many years, you know, and testosterone, that has an impact on the brain, right? So the real reason I would never go really in on Eddie is you never know how much brain damage has occurred from abuse of drugs. You never know. And, you know, it also, his responses to criticism aren't very logical. You know, ad hominem is the word. So if someone attacks you through ad hominem, for instance, Donald Trump, people make a decision on whether or not they think he's a good president from if they like him or not his ability to be a president. So for instance, Eddie, when you criticize him, will then go in on you and he'll say, you're an idiot, you're this, you're that, rather than refuting or rebutting the claim made. So yeah. James, you on finasteride? No. I need my bonus, man. If I lost, like, you know, even 10% of my testosterone, my drive, my libido, yeah, it would not be good. James, do you notice the effects of new tonic after one drink, or do you need a week's worth before you start noticing? Well, because it's got caffeine in it, yes, 100%. But this is the issue, Rob. All right, you can't ask me an anecdotal question about what is my child, because it's like when someone asks you about your child, you see them differently to everyone else. So you could be like, James, do you feel the impacts of your drink? And I'm in a position where I could say, yeah, it's amazing. I felt so good. I got all this. Oh my God, I got so much work done. But I can't be without bias because it's my business. It's my drink. It's my creation. So instead, I would 100% ask you to put your faith in me and trust me and find out for yourself, right? Because I don't want to be in a position where I'm being, you know, economic with the truth in a bid to get your business, where instead I'd say, look, mate, I need you to try for yourself. It could be the worst decision you ever make, could be the best, but you can't ask me anecdotal stuff about a product that I own because there's a conflict of interest. All right. When you took semaglutide, how much do you take? The smallest amount. No disrespect. Do you think the class A's you've done had contributed to your ADHD? Maybe, or I was taking class A's because of my ADHD. So Scotty, you're here saying, did snorting coke give you ADHD? But for a long time, as long as I remember, I always react slightly differently to other people when I take drugs. So actually, the cocaine can sometimes give me quite a calming effect, which is a weird thing. It keeps me, it stimulates me, but it doesn't keep me awake. So for instance, when I was younger, people would always talk about the facts that I could do a line of coke the size of that keyboard and go straight to sleep. Like that was like almost my party trick. Sometimes, you know, you're at afters, you're smashing gear. Then the second I hear a bird tweet and the sun comes up, I just put my head down and sleep. And everyone's like, how the hell can you sleep? So I've had inverse reactions to it. When I take MDMA, I yawn and I chill out. I hate people talking to me on MDMA. Some people do MDMA and they're like, I'm like, shh. So I have had inverse reactions to class A's. So you could say class A's give you ADHD. I could say ADHD made me enjoy doing class A's. But yeah. Reese, is your drink genuine or placebo with what it offers? I've seen a few comments say it's good, say it's placebo, whatever that means. Okay, placebo means basically you've been gaslit into feeling the way you're going to feel. Bit like, here you go. If I took you for dinner and, you know, all of us around the table were bigging up this red wine, and we're like, oh my God, this is the best glass of red wine ever. You know, oh God. Yeah, so expensive. I've never had a red wine so good. If we would say, oh, what do you think of that red wine? You go, oh, yeah, it is really good. Truth is, no one knows. Even sommeliers, right? Even everyone in this fucking wine game are just chatting shit, right? It's all the same. Now, you might like more one than the other, fine, but it's all the same. So then when people take this and they think they're going to have sustained focus, there is going to be a placebo effect, I am sure. But if a placebo works, it still works. If you want to spray magnesium on your body before going to sleep because you think it'll make you sleep better, you will probably sleep better. So therefore, taking magnesium helps you sleep. The caffeine, unequivocally, 120 milligrams is always going to make you feel good, perk you up, whatever. The theanine with that is going to reduce the jitters. I think caffeine and theanine are the two that are really going to give you the impact in the short term. The other nootropics could be different on an individual basis. And again, I would say, try it out for yourself, because think about this, £25 for a case. I get it, it's quite a lot, but I'm asking you to trade 12 coffees for 12 cans, because this is actually cheaper than a coffee, even if you go Costa near a Starbucks or whatever. So if you're willing to part ways with 12 coffees or 12 bottles of water or 12 whatever, give it a go. And if you enjoy it, then we could be doing this for a long time. But if not, if we're wrong, you go, do you know what? I gave them a go. I'm going to be here for another 10 years putting out free content, jumping on lives, doing stuff. So like, if you were to try it and not like it, like I'm working for you, you're working for me here. You know what I mean? We've got we've got a relationship that goes both ways. I'm always going to keep turning up. Are you going to turn up and buy some? I don't know. Don't ignore me, James. Sorry, I'm trying. But the things go like that. When you started getting more famous, popular, did you remove old social media posts? Yes. I had to delete an old Twitter account because you're very different, right? You're very different when you're younger. Also, you just don't have, like, I can only speak on behalf of men, but when I was 15, 16, 17, my brain hadn't developed. You know, there are no, you can't fully understand consequences. So it's difficult. So like I would never, even people I hate, right? And I don't hate Eddie Abu, right? Let's say V-Shred, because he's a bellend, right? If some tweets of V-Shred being inappropriate came out from 10 years ago, I'd be like, leave it out. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't judge people now on who they were then. Plus, things were different, except you watch an episode of The In-Betweeners now, you know, you can never get away with that now. Throwing a frisbee at a disabled person or calling someone's dad a bender. So, yeah. You changed my opinion about moving to Australia. Coming for a month in June, if it's really as good as people say, hopefully moving there permanently. Bring a jacket. Bring a jacket, because it'll be fucking cold in June. All right. I hope you realized inverse seasons, other side of the world. You're coming in winter. Right. You're coming in winter, but it's still a good time. Still a good time. But yeah, if you enjoy it in winter, you'll love it in summer. How do you get comfortable with making money, not feeling like an imposter? Oh, mate, still to this day, that's why you need a manager. Because when I get my fees for doing things, I'm like, how much? I feel like I'm robbing people. Hey, I feel like I'm robbing people half the time. Like, I can't believe what I get paid for some stuff, if I'm honest. Just gotta go with it. Sorry, dog's going crazy. How did you become a resident in Australia? I went through like 15 visas. I'm gonna shut the door. Yeah, I went through a lot of visas. In the end, ended up getting a talent visa, exceptional talent. Had to go to Australia and be like, hey, excuse me, please, can I have a visa? Please, can I stay? Please, can I stay? They're like, why? Why should we let you here? I was like, I've written some books and I paid my tax. So yeah. James, if you were to give advice to young you, how would you start off making a living through social media? Think of it this way. If you have 10 clients that pay you all right, you're all set pretty much, right? So, sorry, there must be another dog outside. Say you're an online coach doing whatever. Can you charge someone £50 a week? If so, 10 clients, £500 a week, you can live off that, right? To begin with. Then from there, just marginally look to improve things over time. So, you know, people seem to think they need millions of followers. They don't. If you had 5,000 followers and you converted 1% into clients, you need to hire someone, you know? So is no-gi BJJ? I'd say on the whole, you want to be training 3 to 5 times a week. Can you come make anabolic cooking videos? Not really. All right. Do you find you're more critical to the UK now you left? It's more so when I go back, right? The UK is expensive when I go back. And like, mate, shut up. Imagine this, right? In Australia, you pay pretty much the same amount of tax. Half of everything. When you get to a certain point, half of everything is going to the tax man. Now, in Australia, no stabbings. I can wear a Rolex on a night out, not get stabbed for it. You know, no real violent crime, no gang crime, especially not where I live. The place is clean. People say hello to each other, pick up litter. I obviously live by the beach. And, you know, I live in an area that's relatively nice. When I'm back in the UK, obviously you've got countryside, small towns, whatever. But for me, I'd probably need to be quite close to London. And what kills me is if you're in Australia, you want to be relatively close to Sydney. And I love Sydney. But in the UK, I would probably have to be relatively close to London. And I just don't think London's worth the value. Now, the second point of this would be like, fuck business, fuck money, fuck everything. I like blue skies and sunlight. I like nice weather. I've become accustomed to that from being in Australia for so long. So I don't realize how grey and dark it is in the UK until I go back. The summers are amazing. Don't get me wrong, the summers are amazing. But it's the greyness gets to my head. I spent a couple months there and I'm like, wow, it's so great. Mate, what is wrong with you? I've opened the door in case Alf wants to come back in. So yeah, if you're going to ask me to, and keep in mind, I did this for 28 years. If you're like, James, I need you in the UK for a year, I'm getting depressed even thinking about it. So yeah, it's one of those things. Was it easy to make friends when you moved to Australia? Not really. Especially Sydney. People are quite cliquey, I'll be honest. It can be incredibly difficult to make friends. But as long as you put yourself in the right circles, you'll be all right. What's the cultural difference between Australia and the UK? Okay, here's one, right? And this is controversial. Australia is very far away from... Alf! Bear with. Hey, Alfie, what's going on? The only explanation... Someone must have gone to the beach without him. So this will probably be the one because I'm going to check the dog's all right. Australia is very far away from everything. So from a cultural standpoint, it's like it's Australia, and you're either Australian or you're not Australian. Whereas London and the UK is very multicultural. You know, if you live in London, you're a Londoner. Even if you're from Kenya, Mozambique, Madagascar, fucking wherever, you're a Londoner. Oi, mate, what could possibly, Alf, what could possibly be so... What's up? You've been on the beach all morning. I'm trying to do... In London, you could be a Londoner. It doesn't matter where you're from. People are very welcoming of other cultures. I'm not saying Australia is racist. I'm just saying they're not as exposed to other cultures as other things. So they could be potentially quite ignorant to the other ways of people doing things. But apart from that, you know, it's interesting. Have you got a podcast? This video is making me think you should do one if you don't already. I was doing one and it was doing really well. But I think I prefer making YouTube videos. So let's say I got 2 hours. I'd rather make a YouTube video than I would do a podcast. Because why chat waffle for an hour when you could condense that into 7 minutes and give people all the same stuff? All right. The dog's getting mental. I'm going to go see the dog. Right. Cheers, Alf. If you haven't bought a case of New Tonic already, please consider it. That's all I ask. I even turned off monetization on this video. I was like, look, if they want to sit and listen to waffle, so be it. It's only in the UK and Australia. It's only in the UK and America for now. But if you find it in your hearts to try it out, then give it a go. I'll put a link, pinned it before. Thank you very much for tuning in. My videographer's back tomorrow, so I'll be getting back into making content. Love you all. See you in a bit. Ow! Shut up!